Good evening, folks. Welcome to Quest Group News Radio. I'm your host, Mr. D Quest. Now, before we begin, please make sure you hit that like button, share button, and subscribe button. That way, people that are interested in finding this case on YouTube, it'll help get our conversation about this case in front of them a little bit more quicker. That's why we need you to hit that like button, share button, and subscribe button. Okay? Now, today's discussion is about a shooting that happened yesterday, on Monday. Okay, CHP officer Andre Moye Jr. was killed in the line of duty by idiot ex-con gang member Aaron Luther that didn't want his pickup truck towed. He didn't want his pickup truck impounded, folks. So he pulls out the big gun and starts shooting, right? Now, the idiot gang member, he was killed as well, fellas. He was killed as well. Okay? So, this is just one of those stories where things just don't make sense, man. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. But first, let me cover the basics of the story. And then we'll discuss the case, all right? Now, in Riverside, a California Highway Patrol officer, along with the suspect, was killed, while two other officers was wounded during a long and horrific gun battle at a traffic stop on a freeway near Los Angeles, authorities said. Now, the Times reported that a man driving a white GMC pickup truck was stopped by an officer on a motorcycle who cited several violations and proceeded to have the suspect's vehicle impounded. Now, once the officer called for a tow truck and was filling out the necessary paperwork, that's when the driver pulled the rifle from the truck and opened up fire. Now, the officer then called for help and three other CHP officers arrived. Now, these officers immediately faced gunfire when they arrived, and two of them were hit. All right? Now, Riverside police officer and three Riverside County sheriff deputies, they also arrived on the scene and started trading shots with the suspect before killing him at the scene. All right? Now, by that time, it was realized that CHP officer Andre Moye Jr. was fatally shot during the ordeal and died shortly after being taken to the hospital. All right, now, the gunman was identified by the Riverside County Coroner's Office as Aaron Luther, age 49, of Beaumont. All right? And the coroner's office said that Luther died a full 15 minutes after he was shot about 5:37 p.m. Monday, folks. Okay. Now, let's note real quick that Aaron Luther, the suspect, was a member of the Vagos motorcycle gang. And that's what the Los Angeles Times reported. Citing public records and law enforcement sources, it also says that he has a lengthy criminal record dating to 1990s across Southern California. He served time in state prison before being released in 2007. All right, folks, now there you go. That's the basic story, okay? Now, as you can see on the screen, all of this was caught on tape. Most of this was caught on tape, folks. I mean, they was going at it. This dude was in all black with the big gun, folks. He had the big gun. He was letting off. They was letting off. All right? Now, first of all, rest in peace to Officer Andre Moye. Okay? Because he was out there doing his job. All right? He was getting up, doing his 9 to 5, making sure that the citizens of LA, Riverside, or whatever, that they were safe, folks. Okay? You know why this nut pulled out a big gun and started shooting? Because he's a criminal, folks. So stop this, let's protest against the cops. Nah, man, I don't get down like that. Because one day you're going to need them. What if that suspect was on the way to kill somebody, kidnap somebody. He shot shots for a reason, folks. Okay. Now, what I did notice was, the part I didn't understand is, but I'm sure more is going to come out. If Officer Andre Moye pulled him over and was going to impound his car, why didn't he have him in handcuffs, folks? And if you're a cop listening out there or anybody, always restrain your suspects before impounding a car. Because I ain't going to lie, folks, impounding a car, dudes do get heated. Like, yo, that's my car. That's my only transportation. We on the freeway. You know what I mean? I ain't got no ride to get here or there, you know. Now, if the suspect was going to be under arrest, he should have been in the back of the cop car. Now, let's keep it a buck. I got to keep it a buck on that. He should have been in the back of the cop car. You know what I mean? Now, we ain't blaming an officer for his death. You know, because maybe he was like, listen, I could do a lot more and take you to jail, but yo, I'm going to just impound the car and get this truck up off the street, but I'm going to let you go free. So maybe the officer was trying to do him a solid. You know what I mean? And dude, I guess I got the AR in there. I'm going to get caught regardless. So let me pull a big gun out and just start shooting. Maybe that's how that went down. You know? But definitely always restrain the suspect before impounding the vehicle, even if you're going to do him a solid and let him be on his merry way. Now, that being said, okay, this officer has a family, folks. He's got wife, kids. He's got the whole family, the whole American dream. He's making money doing what he loves to do in the city that he loves to live in. Okay, and he didn't deserve this at all. Meanwhile, your boy Aaron Luther, meanwhile, he big dogging it. He motorcycle gangs, probably another gangs. He has a lengthy criminal history, folks. Domestic violence, cruelty to children, robbery, all kinds of stuff. Now, he didn't have no arrest record in Riverside or whatever, but he had ones in other counties, other cities near there. You know, this guy was a criminal, folks, and you got to start blaming the justice system sometimes, because these cops should do their best to lock you up, but the criminal system's just letting you go. They just letting them go. Gavin Newsom just, okay, let him out. You know, and we need to stop that, because these dudes, they ain't messing around. Cruelty to children, domestic violence, like, along with the other gang violence that this guy was committing for years, for decades. Come on now. Don't beat me in the head with that, man. We got to do better. Now, also, prayers to the other two cops that were shot, because one's in critical, folks, so that's still, you know, to be seen. And then one was in serious condition. You know, so hopefully they get well soon, and hopefully they survive. And shout out to their co-workers, friends, and families. All right? Now, I got to say this about cops. They do turn up for their crew, and I give them props for that. You know what I mean? Same with firemen, because they showed up to the hospital, you know, for Officer Andre. They showed up to the hospital, man, giving them the salute, you know, the big send-off, you know what I mean? So I salute that, man. But for all you cop haters out there, stop hating the cops, man. I understand certain situations. I understand that. Believe me, I've seen it. I've been there. I understand certain situations. But for the most part, who you gonna call, folks? Who you gonna call? When that dude running up in your house with the big gun trying to home invade your house, you know, trying to torture your kids or whatever, who you gonna call, folks? 911's the first one you gonna call. You know what I mean? And if we stop this no snitching policy, maybe dudes like Aaron would have been off the street, man. Aaron probably did so many crimes that people know about, but nah, we ain't gonna snitch on Aaron. He the big homie. We ain't gonna snitch. He OG. Aaron would have been locked up, man. Who would you rather have as a neighbor? Aaron? Who would you rather have as a neighbor? Aaron or Officer Andre, man? I'd rather have Officer Andre as a neighbor. Me and my wife, we buy a house or something like that in the neighborhood. I want a type of person like Officer Andre to be my neighbor, rather than Aaron, who's out there in domestic violence, got the cops coming to his crib every night. this, that, and the third. Well, anyway, folks, you know, yeah, as you see on the screen, it was definitely wild out there. But I'm not gonna beat this one in the head too long, because you know how I do, folks. Once I get my subscribers up, that's when I can start going in for an hour. Because if you look at the 40 videos we already got up, some are 20 minutes, 25 minutes, some are 15 minutes. You could tell I can shoot the shit with the best. You know what I mean? We could be here all night long if we wanted to. But I do need to get those subscribers up, folks. And shout out to the police for getting out there and doing a job that nobody want to do. And I'm gonna be covering police stories as well. Okay? I'm gonna try to cover the good ones because everybody cover the bad ones. Okay? Everybody cover the bad ones. I don't need to cover the bad ones. We need more good stories where people see that the police is out there doing a job and their due diligence to make sure that you and your kids are safe. Okay, so definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button, folks, because we're gonna be taking these cases to different levels, folks. We're gonna be starting different segments and everything. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that off on that, you know. Because if you look, this is a new channel, so my subscribers is low right now. But hopefully we get those numbers up. Okay, but once again, the funeral should be happening soon. So I'm sure Officer Andre is going to have a big send-off. By the way, the suspect, Aaron, his dad seen the whole thing on TV. And he's sorry, folks. So don't go blaming that man. He said he was just as sad as everybody else. And he gives his condolences as well. You know, so don't besmirch the suspect's family either. You know what I mean? Let's keep it a buck. Aaron did what Aaron did, and that's what was done. You know, so let's just try to leave his family alone at least, you know? But anyway, rest in peace to Officer Andre. Hopefully a speedy recovery to the other two officers. And if there's any cops listening to this, be careful out there, man. Be careful out there, because it's a thankless job, man. It's a thankless job. You know, but I appreciate your work. I really do. So much love, people. I want y'all to stay safe out there. And tune in next time, all right? And definitely subscribe. That way you get these notifications. All right, people, I'm up out of here. Later, folks.